I'm scared. Oh no, I'm about to get hit here.
What the fuck? He teleported onto my body and hit you.
No, what's happening? But are you really here though? But are you really at the door? I don't think you are. I'm gonna keep opening it. I'm pulling on this pallet. Okay, never mind. I get
Exactly.
Alright, cool. Maybe next time I'll get you, bud. With the release of the newest chapter comes the release of the newest perks, and with every chapter, the killer is the star of the show. So what this video aims to do is to help you take advantage of these new perks in whatever ways that I can see are the most fit. I've done extensive research on all 3 of these new perks. I've used them a bunch in games, I've looked up some videos from people who are better than me, and I went to the wiki to do just about as much reading as I can. So this video is just about as knowledgeable as I'm gonna be with these 3 new perks. However, my research and opinion is not final. If any of you know any better combos with perks or killers that can take advantage of these perks the most, do feel free to help educate me. I read all the comments and I'm eager to see if anyone knows something that I don't with these new perks, which is entirely possible. So with that out of the way, let's begin. So how this video is going to be formatted is I'm going to read just straight off the perk what they do, and then I'm just going to go ahead and give the tips that I've researched and found. Alright, here we go. Let's start from the top with Gearhead. After hitting survivors 2 times with your basic attack, Gearhead activates for 20 to 25 to 30 seconds. Each time a survivor completes a good skill check while repairing, the generator will be revealed by a yellow aura for as long as it is being repaired until the end of the perk activation. This is definitely the worst perk of the bunch. It has a fine effect, but having to hit survivors twice before it can take effect is kinda boo-boo cheeks. Not to mention it only lasts for 30 seconds maximum. And it doesn't even work with every type of skill check. Like, when you activate this perk, if a survivor hits a great skill check, it doesn't even activate. Like, what the hell is the point? The only plus is that you don't have to hit the same survivor twice. So, be grateful, I suppose. Oh, Jesus. So let me preface this section of the video by saying, if you want to use this perk, you might as well just use Surveillance, Discordance, Barbecue, Whispers. Hell, the only tracking perk I wouldn't bring over it is Bitter Murmur. But I'm here to tell you how to use the perk, not to give you alternatives, so here we go. I think the most optimal killers to bring this perk on are M1 killers like Clown, Wraith, Freddy, and Nurse. You can't hurt survivors without using basic attacks with those killers, thus putting Gearhead to work without you really having to do much. I guess I would pair Gearhead with something like Save the Best for Last? I'm honestly not too sure, but I know that in pushing for those M1s to get the perk functioning, Save the Best for Last will definitely be synonymous with Gearhead and helping each other out, and playing to a certain strength. Another good combination with Gearhead would be Surge, just because if you can down a survivor near that generator, it'll go kablooey and lose some progress. You know, as I said, if any of you have any better ideas for what to do with Gearhead, do let me know in the comments. I read all the comments and I'm eager to see if anyone can make this perk OP. But personally, I'm stumped. I cannot find a way. Next on the list is Dead Man's Switch. You become obsessed with one survivor. After hooking the obsession, Dead Man's Switch activates for the next 35 to 40 to 45 seconds. While activated, any survivor that stops repairing a generator before it is fully repaired causes the entity to block the generator until Dead Man's Switch's effect ends. Affected generators are highlighted by a white aura, and you can only be obsessed with one survivor at a time. This is one of the perks that when used right is super annoying for survivors and can easily shift a game into the killer's favor. An obvious major downside of this perk is that it only works if you specifically hook the obsession. And thank you, Mr. NASCAR, for driving by. Fuck you. But when you do, all you need to do is apply the tiniest bit of map pressure, and that generator is blocked off until the end of the duration. The first thought that came into my head upon reading and experimenting with the perk is how good it must be with Doctor. Having a killer that basically interrupts objective by doing the equivalent of picking your nose can easily proc that DMS. But if you're not a fan of Doc, there's a bunch of other things that can go well with this perk. The main perks that I would combo with DMS are Surge or Infectious Fright. Those perks on a down have interrupting capabilities, which will be great if you down someone close to a working gen. Now, while the interrupting capabilities themselves don't necessarily proc the perk, for example in the event of you downing the obsession and having the perks pop, they can very easily set you up to get those pesky survivors off of a generator yourself, by using the information from those perks to tell you where the serves are or where they aren't. DMS is arguably the most effective perk of these three, and I can already see this perk being a huge SWF stomper. And finally, the most fun perk of the bunch, Hex Retribution. Any survivor who cleanses a dull totem will suffer from the Oblivious status effect for 35 to 40 to 45 seconds. If any Hex totem is cleansed, including this one, the auras of all survivors are revealed for 10 seconds. Now, I've already made a whole video on how much I love the combination of Retribution and Haunted Grounds. And I'd say in the higher ranks with serves cleansing every totem in Fear of Noed, that Retribution even by itself can be pretty effective. There's a good chance that for at least 20 seconds out of an entire trial, 10 seconds times 2 Hex totems, you see where all survivors are, and you lose your entire terror radius. Yes! Finally some good fucking food! The most obvious way to make Retribution deadly is to force survivors to cleanse totems. Is someone power drilling into my fucking house? Any Hex perk other than Haunted Grounds gives the opportunity for Retribution to shine. Ruin, Devour Hope, Third Seal, even Huntress's Lullaby. Any Hex perk that hinders the survivors in any way, except for maybe Thrill the Hunt since that slows Hex cleansing speed, is a good combo with Retribution. As for killers that would benefit the most from this perk, I'd say both of the ranged killers, Huntress and Deathslinger, and the killers that can span the map in a short amount of time such as Billy and Oni would benefit greatly from Retribution. Being able to make use of the auras of all survivors with that kind of haste is a game changer, and I can see this perk being used really effectively. So what do you guys think? Am I missing something? Is there something I completely left out that you would have liked to see in this entire sort of guide thing? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Go ahead and tell me in the comments. I read all the comments like I said. These 3 new perks are really interesting. I don't think there's any of them I dislike. The closest one I would have to dislike is Gearhead because it sucks ass. But but yeah, the other 2 perks just seem really nice. Retribution and Dead Man Switch, they seem really cool. I'm really happy that this new update was so good. So thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Take care. Wait, if she's all the way over there, why can I still hear her? You hear that, right? I'm not going stupid crazy. Yeah, you can definitely still hear the spirit, but she's all the way